What if I told you that respect used to mean life or death? Not just a word, but the invisible line between survival and destruction, a force that could raise empires or shatter them. Today, respect feels like something from another era, like an old sword left to rust, powerful once but forgotten now, buried beneath empty words and shallow gestures. When was the last time someone truly respected you? When their promise wasn't just a polite nod, but a bond as strong as steel? When their eyes met yours and you knew they meant it?
Respect didn't vanish overnight. It didn't just fade into the noise of the world by accident. We let it slip through our fingers, bit by bit. It didn't happen in one moment, but across generations. And the truth, we barely noticed. But there's something our ancestors understood, something we've overlooked for too long, and it's still there, waiting for those bold enough to claim it again.
Centuries ago, respect wasn't an accessory, it was the foundation of power. Without it, you were nothing. Knights, samurai, warriors, they didn't rise because of wealth or bloodlines. They rose because they earned something greater, the respect of those around them. It wasn't their armor or their swords that defined them, it was the way they carried themselves. Their honor wasn't a show for the world, it was carved into the way they spoke, stood, and fought. And even their enemies were met with respect. Not out of weakness, but because they understood. The battle wasn't just won on the field, it was won long before that, in the way they lived.
Those men knew a secret. Honor isn't forged in front of crowds, it's shaped in silence when no one is there to witness it. When the only judge is you. Because the greatest loss wasn't losing a fight, it was losing the respect of your peers, and more importantly, losing respect for yourself.
But today feels different. We live in a world where respect isn't earned, it's bought, measured by likes, shares, and viral moments, where the loudest voices aren't the wisest, just the noisiest. And what happens when the noise stops? Who are we? When the cameras turn off, when the followers drift away?
The heroes of today aren't warriors, they're influencers. But what happens when the screen goes dark? What do you stand for when there's no one to watch, no one to applaud? Imagine this. If your life was judged not by how many people noticed you, but by what you did in the quiet, would you stand tall? Or would the reflection staring back feel hollow?
But here's the truth. Respect never truly disappeared. It didn't crumble into dust. It's still here, still breathing beneath the surface, just sleeping and waking it up. That's not someone else's job. It's yours and mine, ours.
Stop waiting for others to give you respect. It doesn't come from outside. It's not handed out like a trophy. Respect is something you build, brick by brick, step by step. And it starts where no one can see, in the decisions you make when no one's watching.
Because respect isn't a gift from the world, it's a reflection of who you are, and the world simply mirrors it back. It's time to stop living in the shadows of who we were. It's time to step forward and write a new story. A story shaped not by words, but by action, by the quiet moments that no one else will ever see. Respect isn't just the past, it's the key to the future, and those who hold it shape the world.
True strength doesn't come from what's in your bank account, your title, or the things you own. Real strength comes from the way people remember you, long after you're gone. And respect, it's your weapon, a blade that never dulls, but it's useless if it stays in its sheath. Draw it, use it, because the world doesn't need more noise, it needs more warriors.